about that.
Okay, again, is Howard here? Or,
I'll talk to that.
okay, Dwayne Miller. All right,
Okay.
right here in the front.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You'll have to hand it to him.
I'm just trying to keep things moving. I answered the question as best I could. There's a specific part of the question I couldn't answer, okay?
You said he will meet with him and tell all of us. That's why we're here. Because we all want to know.
Okay.
Now, when she asked the question about the 6 police officers, you brought the chief up. Now, you go to all of us. It's only fair.
Herb, go ahead, please.
Mike, this is why a lot of people in the community don't respect these procedures here. If this was in Flint or Davis, this would never go on. The people wouldn't allow it. You got people on committees that don't know me, don't represent me, making decisions for me. That is wrong. That is wrong. And all the training I've ever had in public education, in colleges, is that you don't do what you're doing the way you're doing it. This is wrong. We ought to have working committees of people who are here tonight in this community. Now, we should have came up here and went to work, talking to one another, not having you do us like they did us in South Africa, telling us what you're going to do. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in the penitentiary for that. We haven't forgot that. This is wrong. We have a right to know what's going on. You're keeping us out. You don't want us at the table. And all the folks you didn't pick to represent me, I reject all of you. I reject all of you. You can't represent me behind closed doors. It's wrong. It is wrong. And when you bring these people down here in our community and stand up and raise their hand as part of being a committee, that is fraud. That is fraud. We are not getting any justice out of this. It's not being explained properly, correctly, because we're not at the table. And every meeting you have, some of us are going to be there to reject this whole line. Now we come in here tonight, they done changed the rules on us, which we knew that was going to happen. But the people are not going to accept this kind of business with our money. That's our money. It's not Mike Brown's money. It's not the county's money. We got 2 black politicians over there at the county. We ain't seen their face because they've been told to shut up and go somewhere and sit down and be quiet. We haven't heard from any of them. And all of this business that you're doing with the county, who's there representing me? You were not elected to be the leader of the city of Flint. You walked in. You walked in. I'm baffled. I don't know who's representing me anymore here in the city of Flint. You're going to take my taxes, and I still don't have no representation. I don't know who am I supposed to go to grieve about saving this city. And this stuff about these houses, go on East Court Street. You don't see no aluminum siding being taken over there. You don't see it on Miller Road. You're protecting the white community. That's wrong. Our community is being raped daily, every single day, and we get nothing but excuses. The police are not going to solve the issues in this community with kids killing each other. They never have, and they never will. And I want to do like Mr. Caswell. He brought a proposal from the businessmen. They've been sitting down talking about things that they can do for this city. What about us? And you know, people like me have expertise and background. If you don't want to be bothered with me, you're going to have to. You're going to have to. The water thing, I want these kids to have jobs rebuilding this community and taking these homes and putting mothers that have babies in a, that's humane, Michael Brown. To hell with this water right now. I want to see our community rebuilt. And all you're doing, to me, is while you in there representing the governor, you're going to do everything you can to get the water deal settled while you're here without community input. And we've been fighting this for 300 years.
Hi, this is Jim Scroviero. We're here at Skid Marks Raceway. We're here racing our slot cars. It's made in Flint, and we're proud of it.
My name is Samuel Sutton. I was born and raised here in this city, went to the schools, and I can tell you right off, Dwayne Miller and Howard Croft don't know the difference between a pilaster or a footing. They don't know nothing about any construction, okay? And what we have to understand, this is not a morality play. The only morality that power has is that you hold on to it at all costs. And this is what Michael Brown is all about here, okay? This city is 65 to 70% black. How do we end up with a black emergency manager, a white emergency manager, a white council president, and a white mayor? Okay? Now, what this is about is the water fund. That's the last cash cow in the city of Flint. They can't do what they want to do with the taxes anymore. They don't have a tax base. So now we're coming up with a boondoggle, $600 million that they say. 98% of this is coming underground. I'm an expert excavator, okay? You're going to run into underground rivers, you're going to run into solid rock, and if they tell you $600 million, I'll guarantee you when they get done, it's going to be somewhere between $3.5 to $5 billion. That's billion. And you're going to finance it with your water bills. Now, he says he has to pass it on. The city of Flint is selling water to Flint Township. I was out there yesterday. She gets her bill every 3 months for $70. Okay? We have to pay ours every month. That was Mr. Jim Sharp, our mayor. Okay? He changed it from every 3 months to once a month. Okay? In our airport, they gave the airport away. They said 6,000 jobs for us. Did any of your relatives get a job at the airport? No. Did any of your grandkids get a job at the airport? No. Okay, this is another boondoggle. This is another 500 block that collapsed in the city of Detroit, in the city of Flint, down on Saginaw Street. Okay? Now, it was supposed to have been $12 million. It ended up being $23 million. Okay? This is another Genesee Towers. Okay? Where you had people that came in and offered them a solution to the problem, but they put the $8 million on you. So don't finance this program. There's already several hundred people in the city of Flint now withholding their water bills. Don't pay your water bills. is for your removal. Okay? You pay it, I'll guarantee you, if you allow them to run this pipeline, your water bills will be at least 100% of what they are now. It's nothing but a boondoggle. Okay? Now, the city of Flint at one time had a population of 215,000 people. Okay? We got less people, we got less factories, we got a water plant that all that needs to be done is updated. The gentleman that was up here talking about the tunnels, what we have to do is we have to go in and fix all of that. They've already made up their mind. These little meetings are just here to gauge the opposition. It's a play. All the world is a stage. All the men and women are merely actors. They have their exits and their interests. And in one man's time, they play many parts. They've already decided about the pipeline. Now, one question to you, Mr. Brown. I was looking at the resolutions where you sent $30,000 over to the chamber.
45.
Well, 40, you have 15 on the consolidated plan, okay? Did you get a waiver from the state treasurer to do that? Because it came out of general fund, 101 money.
Anything over 50,000, I have to get approval from the city.
Okay, so
35, 15 is 50.
okay,
Sorry.
Now.
Anything over 50,000, I have to get approval.
but you came in and made that rule. Because prior to that, anything over $2,000 would have to go to the council, is that correct?
3,000.
But you raised that, you gave it to $50,000 threshold.
No, that was a state mandate to
Okay,
me.
fine. Weren't you vice president of the chamber?
Well, I was there for about, I think, 12 weeks in
That's a conflict of interest.
2008.
That's a conflict of interest, Mr. Brown.
Let's talk about that for a minute, Mr. Sutton, okay? We have one economic development agency in this community, okay? And that is through the chamber. And we need, just like we need police, we need somebody out there looking at development. And they've been successful. They can document a couple of thousand new jobs. And that's one of the reasons our income tax is moving in the right direction again. We have had more people working in the last couple of years. Now, I don't give the chamber all credit for that, but I do say that they are the entity that's paying attention to development in this community, and I feel we need to support that. Now, in the past, we've supported that as much as $250,000, but I still think it's a good investment, especially if we keep creating jobs. That's why I made that decision.
I understand, but were you not a vice president of the chamber?
Back in 08, yes.
Okay,
you're
fine.
right.
And isn't it a fact that Dwayne Miller, right now, as your advisor, isn't he working for the chamber?
Yes, he is.
So, and he's an agent of Flint at the same time, so that's a conflict of interest. So you're doing the same thing that Greg Easton did when he was at the Department of Community and Economic Development, and you're talking about the chamber. What about the city of Flint's Department of Community and Economic Development? Why do we need the chamber? Okay?
Well, because we don't have the staff level there.
Well, but
Be honest with me. We
$50,000
don't have the staff level.
then do like you did when you first came in. You hired the 3 girls back that Greg Easton rushed out because the real reason is you don't have capacity. So you need to hire more people in the Community and Economic Development Department that know what they're doing, rather than like somebody like your crony, Croft. He don't have no experience in that. Okay? Now, that's one thing, okay? Another thing is we're talking about these extraordinary powers that you have. Okay? And you have extraordinary powers. You can go over the charter.
Mr. Sutton, can I ask you to ask this one and then give some folks
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Do you know, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard